Have you ever felt like the universe is whispering to you, subtle, quiet messages, guiding you towards something deeper, and yet you still can't quite see the path? Like a gentle nudge in the dark, something is trying to show you the way, but the vision remains blurred. The signs are there, but you don't yet have the lens to see them clearly. If you've ever asked yourself, is this really all there is? Or wonder if there's more behind this thing we casually call reality, then this message is for you. Not by chance, not by accident. If you're here, it's because your consciousness is already beginning to stretch, to awaken, to reach for more. And what if I told you that everything you perceive around you, every sound, image, relationship, and experience is just a sliver of what truly exists? That the reality you think you're living in is only a reflection, a surface layer, and that the real truth is hidden just beyond the veil, waiting for that precise moment when you're finally ready to see? In today's video, you're going to discover why some truths only reveal themselves when your inner maturity, your level of awareness, reaches a certain point. You'll begin to recognize the subtle signs that tell you you are ready now, ready to go beyond appearances, ready to open your eyes to the deeper, more vibrant reality that's always been there, just out of reach. So stay with me until the end. And if this message resonates, if even one sentence speaks to that quiet part of your soul, write in the comments, "I'm ready to see the truth the universe has in store for me." That simple declaration is more powerful than you know. It sets an intention. It opens energetic pathways. It prepares your spirit for what's coming. This awakening begins right here, right now, with you. Let's go deeper. Jacobo Grinberg, a name you may not have heard, but one that holds immense importance in the world of consciousness. He was a bold and brilliant Mexican neuroscientist who refused to be confined by the traditional boundaries of science. While most of his peers chose to study the physical brain, neurons, chemical structures, Grinberg took a different path. He stepped into the unknown. He dared to ask, what lies behind human perception? What if reality is not fixed, but fluid? Grinberg proposed something radical, something that could transform your entire understanding of life. He said that the reality you experience is not objective. It is not something out there. It is a construction, a projection, built by the interaction between your consciousness and what he called an invisible informational matrix. In other words, you don't see the world as it truly is. You see the world as you are. You are not merely receiving reality. You are shaping it through your beliefs, your emotions, your past experiences. What you perceive is a filtered version of what actually exists. And the filter is your own mind. Think about that. It means that every sound, every color, every emotion, and every experience is shaped by you. It also means that the things you have not yet seen, synchronicities, spiritual truths, hidden dimensions, aren't missing. They're simply invisible for now until you become ready to perceive them. Grinberg called this process lifting the perceptual veils. And today you will understand exactly what that means and how your life begins to shift when those veils are lifted one by one. He said, you don't see the world as it is. You see the world as you are. And once you truly grasp that truth, it's like stepping into a new dimension of freedom. You begin to realize that reality is not something happening to you. It's something being reflected from you. Your thoughts, your emotions, your wounds, your desires. They're the ingredients that shape your personal version of reality. The universe is not an empty stage where things play out randomly. It is a mirror, a sacred mirror, that reflects your inner world with exact precision. Grinberg's theory was simple, yet profound. There's a vast, unseen informational field that holds infinite possibilities. He called it the matrix. You interact with this matrix through your mind, through your awareness. Like an artist with a brush, you paint reality onto the canvas of this matrix using the colors of your beliefs, thoughts, and emotional patterns. When you see a flower, you're not seeing the flower as it exists on its own. You're seeing your personal interpretation of it, colored by memory, culture, emotion, and experience. The same goes for everything else. Your relationships, your pain, your joy, your beliefs, and even your fears. The reality you experience is not truth. It is translation. Now here's where it becomes empowering. If you feel like the world is cold, hostile, unfair, ask yourself, what have I been feeding my mind? What have I been repeating in my thoughts? What emotional patterns have I allowed to take root in my heart? Because your outer experience is shaped by your inner frequency. This understanding doesn't make you responsible for every event in life, but it does awaken you to this truth. You are no longer just a passive observer. You are a co-creator. Two people can go through the same event, and one walks away feeling devastated, while the other feels liberated. The difference isn't in the event, it's in the filter. And the filter is you. Once you understand this, you begin to shift. You stop trying to control everything around you, and instead, you begin transforming from the inside out. Because when your inner vibration changes, your entire reality changes with it. This is the moment where life no longer feels like a chain of random events. It starts to feel like a sacred, intelligent design. A design that listens and responds to you exactly as you are. But here's something even deeper. The universe doesn't show you everything all at once. Why? Because it's wise. It waits for your readiness. It waits for your consciousness to mature, your inner ground to become fertile. There are veils between you and the deeper dimensions of truth, and these veils aren't meant to punish you. They are there to protect you, to keep you from being overwhelmed by truths you're not yet equipped to hold. These veils aren't outside you. They exist in your own mind, in your conditioned beliefs, your fears, your traumas, your cultural programming. And each time you heal, each time you question a belief, each time you choose love over fear, another layer falls away. Awakening is not always dramatic. Often it's quiet, a simple moment, a conversation, a memory, a shift in how you feel when you look at something ordinary. Suddenly, something you ignored for years becomes radiant. That's awakening. Jacobo Grinberg described this as a reorganization of perception. Your internal system changes, and suddenly, you begin to receive what was always there but hidden. The inaudible becomes clear. The invisible becomes vivid. Reality unfolds in layers. At this point, many people begin to feel it. Something is happening. They can't explain it, but they know something inside them is changing. They start seeing signs, repeating numbers, symbols, uncanny coincidences. These are not accidents. These are synchronicities. You think of someone, and they message you. A word keeps appearing. A symbol follows you. These are not random. These are the universe's way of saying, you're waking up. Keep going. Grinberg believed that synchronicities aren't magical interruptions. They're part of the natural language of an intelligent universe. When you awaken, the matrix responds. The signs become more frequent. The signals become clearer. You're no longer blind. You're being guided. The signs from the universe aren't always loud. In fact, most of the time, they're subtle, quiet nudges that require stillness, awareness, and presence to recognize. Repeating numbers like 1111, 222, 333, words that suddenly echo louder in conversations, books that arrive exactly when you need them, chance encounters that feel too aligned to be random. These aren't coincidences. They are part of a pattern, and the pattern is a message. But here's the truth. The universe doesn't shout. It whispers. And only those who begin to silence the inner noise, the overthinking, the constant seeking, the fear, can begin to truly hear what it's saying. If you've been noticing these signs, if you felt like reality is trying to reach out to you through the ordinary, this video is your confirmation. This moment is not random. This message is for you. These synchronicities go beyond just what happens around you. There are internal signs too, an intuition that begins to intensify, a deep, inexplicable knowing, a sudden clarity that comes without logic. You feel it in your bones. There's more to this life, more than you've been taught, more than you've seen. It's as though your inner frequency is being tuned to a higher channel. And now, that new frequency lets you catch signals that once slipped by unnoticed. But not all signs are comforting. Some signs come through repetition, cycles, people, or challenges that keep showing up in your life. You might think, why is this happening again? But it's not bad luck. It's not punishment. It's a test. And life will keep presenting the same lesson in different clothing until you finally learn what it's trying to teach you. When you do, the cycle breaks, the veil lifts, and what once felt confusing becomes crystal clear. This moment of realization is a turning point. You begin to understand that life isn't happening to you. It's speaking to you. Every event, every interaction, every delay or detour is part of a sacred conversation between you and the universe. And when you start living life as a dialogue instead of battle, everything begins to shift. Let that sink in. The signs appear not when you want them, but when you are ready. So if they are appearing now, it means something inside you is shifting. You're already beginning to awaken. And here's the part that most people miss. Not every awakening is loud. Sometimes it arrives gently, like a soft breeze or a long pause in a sentence. Sometimes it shows up in silence, a silence that feels sacred, full, and alive. As your consciousness expands, so does your perception, not just of the world around you, but of the world within you. And the first true sign of this expansion is the intensification of intuition. Intuition is not a thought. It's not an emotion. It's deeper. It's a direct knowing. It comes without reason. It doesn't shout. It feels. You just know. And the more you trust that knowing, the louder and clearer it becomes. You begin to feel guided in ways that words can't explain. You start to make decisions with ease, even when logic can't justify them. And time begins to feel different. Moments of deep presence begin to bloom, unexpectedly. Looking at the sky, hearing a certain melody, standing still in the wind. These ordinary moments suddenly hold extraordinary meaning. The now begins to stretch. It becomes thick, alive, sacred. The past fades. The future loses its weight. And you find yourself fully immersed in this moment, this breath, this heartbeat. In these states of presence, everything feels more real, more conscious. You begin to realize you're not just living life, you're witnessing it. And that witnessing is powerful, because in that awareness, separation dissolves. You're no longer just a person experiencing the world. You are part of the world, and the world is part of you. Grinberg called this the dissolution of perceptual boundaries. The veil between the seer and the seen begins to thin. You no longer look at a sunset, you merge with it. A hug becomes more than comfort. It becomes a reminder of a divine connection that transcends time. You feel everything differently because you are different. And here's something sacred to remember. There are no formulas for this awakening. No checklist, no guaranteed path. There is only presence, listening, surrender. The mind that used to be full of opinions, labels, judgments, and fears begins to soften. And in its place rises a deeper kind of intelligence. A wisdom that doesn't need words. A clarity that doesn't come from thought, but from being. This transformation doesn't require effort. It only requires your willingness to let go. Let go of control. Let go of needing to understand everything. Let go of who you thought you had to be. Because the truth is, you don't need to become someone new. You need only to return to who you've always been. Underneath the roles, beneath the masks, beyond the noise. In that stillness, the universe speaks again. And this time, you're listening. There's one final truth Grinberg emphasized, and it's a truth that could shift your entire existence. You're not just experiencing the world. You are creating it. Let that land. Your mind isn't a passive witness. It's an active field of vibration. It is shaping what you perceive as reality every second. Every thought, every emotion, every belief you hold with intensity becomes like a seed planted in the invisible fabric of the universe. And from that seed grows your experiences, the people you meet, the opportunities you receive, even the challenges you face. Grinberg believed that consciousness interacts with a vast informational field, the matrix, and this interaction is what generates reality. This matrix contains all possibilities. It's like a menu of infinite potential, and your consciousness chooses what to experience by where it focuses. So even without knowing it, You are co-creating your life right now. The problem? Most of us are creating unconsciously. We're running on old patterns, inherited fears, cultural programming. And so we end up stuck in loops, scarcity, pain, difficult relationships. Not because that's our destiny, but because we haven't yet changed our frequency. But here's the good news. The moment you become aware, everything can shift. Awareness is power. When you realize that your thoughts are not harmless background noise, but creative commands, you start choosing them more carefully. You begin to imagine intentionally, and suddenly, imagination becomes something sacred. It's no longer fantasy. It becomes programming, a way of shaping the field. When you visualize with presence and purpose, you're sending a message to the universe. This is the frequency I choose to live in. And the universe responds, not always with fireworks, but with motion, with synchronicities, with ideas, with people, with energy, with subtle shifts that lead you toward the life you've imagined. But remember, the field responds not to what you want, but to what you are. It listens to your frequency, not just your desire. You might want peace, but if you vibrate anxiety, you'll continue to attract unrest. You might crave abundance, but if you carry beliefs of lack, scarcity will echo back to you. Transformation begins within. You're the signal. You're the source. Reality doesn't happen to you. It happens through you. And the more conscious you become of that, the more empowered you are to shape your life, your relationships, your path, and your purpose. You are not separate from the universe. You are its voice, its vision, its creation. And now, you are beginning to remember. There never was. What exists between you and everything you desire is not distance, but resonance. When your inner world begins to match the vibration of what you wish to see in the outer world, the universe responds, not with resistance, but with precision. Because the universe doesn't delay, it reflects. And now, you understand why reality is not something fixed, not a rigid structure that holds you captive. Reality is fluid, alive, a sacred projection of your inner state. It moves and reshapes itself based on what you hold, what you believe, what you feel. So here's the question the universe is quietly asking you now. Are you ready to see more? Because it's ready to show you. But it will only show you what you're willing to perceive. The signs are already around you. The synchronicities are in motion. Your intuition has been whispering all along. But now it's time to listen. Let this be the day you stop walking through life unconsciously. From this moment forward, choose what you think. Choose what you feel. Choose what you believe. Because each thought is not just a thought, it's a command. Each emotion is not just a feeling, it's a frequency. And reality is the response. This video found you for a reason. This message is not just content, it is a call, a reminder. You're not here by accident, and you're not just a passenger moving through life. You are part of the very intelligence that moves life forward. You are not on the outside looking in. You are the portal. You are the channel. You are the bridge between intention and manifestation. So now begin to act like it. Put this truth into practice. Start simple. Practice conscious visualization. See what you want and feel it as if it's already real. Make space for silence each day, because wisdom often speaks without words. Question old beliefs, especially the ones that tell you you're small, limited, or stuck. And above all, live with certainty. Certainty that your presence here matters, that your vibration carries weight, that your consciousness creates ripples far beyond what you can see. If this message stirred something deep within you, if a part of you feels like it's just now waking up, then this video was meant for you. It's not just a message, it's a mirror, a reflection of what your soul has been asking to remember. Subscribe to the channel to keep walking this path together. Hit the bell so you never miss a moment of expansion. Share this with someone who's ready to awaken, someone who needs this message just like you did. And before you go, leave this phrase in the comments to declare your alignment. I am the portal through which the universe manifests. This single sentence carries power. It raises your vibration, it aligns your focus, and it reminds others that they, too, are creators, not bystanders. Remember this. The universe reveals more when you are ready to remember more. And now that you know this, the awakening has already begun.